Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Interesting thing happened today. Right after Amazon beat street expectations, crypto started rebounding, and we rebounded about 1,000 points after market on the stock market. So crypto is still at the complete mercy of basically the tech sector because there were big movements. Like Netflix made the stock made crypto go down. Apple and Google made the stock go up. And then yesterday, Facebook, when the earnings came out, we went way down. And now Amazon has made it go up by 1,000 points. Now, I think they're the last of the major tech companies that come out with earnings reports. So tomorrow, going into tomorrow and maybe the weekend, we could actually be bullish. Now, we could actually head to 38, 39,000 over the weekend, which would be the same thing as the top here. But there is one very big thing that could actually make it bearish again for the crypto market, and that is the February jobs report, which comes out tomorrow. I mean, the January jobs report that comes out tomorrow. That is sort of expected to disappoint because companies have actually slashed jobs due to Omicron, and obviously post-holiday season, there's just not as many people buying stuff, so they cut out a few positions. But the main problem with the employment numbers is not that people don't have jobs. Everyone that wants a job basically has a job at this point. But the fact is, not that many people are willing to fill jobs for like factory workers, warehouse workers, because of the health risks involved. I don't think anyone's really living off the stimulus anymore because the stimulus ended a while ago. But people like employers are trying really hard to find workers, but the incentives they give are not quite enough. Amazon actually raised the wage to $18 an hour, plus up to $3,000 in signing bonuses, and workers are still like, nah, we don't want that, we want more. So a lot of this problem is that the job market is actually just like too good, and employers aren't able to attract workers unless they offer more. Of course, that cuts into their profits, and they're not really willing to do that. So that's the problem that you might actually be facing tomorrow. But the job numbers are supposed to be down. They might have even decreased in January. That's not too big of a problem considering our unemployment's pretty much at an all-time low, around 3% or so. So it's not that big of a problem at all. But it will actually dampen the stock market and crypto market looks. And we know that will because crypto is kind of following the stock market. It is up right now as the Dow Jones futures is up. And it was down for most of the day because the Dow was down for most of the day. And Amazon's earnings really boosted it. If you look at the technical analysis for the 1 month, which is what I'm going to look at right now, you can actually tell that, yes, we have gotten higher lows since we dipped here around the 20th of January, but the highs really haven't gotten any higher. And I am definitely afraid of us repeating kind of like this pattern here. I'm definitely afraid of us repeating this pattern here where the highs didn't really get any higher. And then we had this giant drop off right here. But this did come because of a stock market collapse. However, if the jobs report is really bad, we could have something like this again, and then crypto dip down another couple thousand points, and we could be bottoming at around 30,000. The jobs report is really the last big thing that could actually dip it down that I see in the near future. So I do think we won't really go below 30,000. I think the bottom will come in, definitely if the jobs report is bad and we dip to around $30,000. Depending on the stock market, of course. So I'm still waiting for a much higher high. That hasn't happened, hasn't broken 40,000, has not gone up to 44,000. So definitely like still not that optimistic for the overall market. But if the jobs report doesn't disappoint too bad, we should be okay into the weekend. On the technical analysis side, also like I want to mention the fundamental analysis. I think fundamentally, on the crypto side, it's actually pretty strong because we've just gotten one major victory in the tax thing where the IRS actually agreed to pay back a couple for unrealized staking rewards that they actually taxed. So what that means is like unrealized staking rewards and maybe yield farming rewards will not actually be taxed until you realize them or cash them out. So that is the thing right there. So that's a big victory. And also Congress just proposed another bill that basically says we won't tax small transactions of $200 or less. That hasn't been passed, but it's been proposed, and hopefully that passes. So those are like big victories right there for the crypto industry. Also, Disney is going to start doing NFTs with Vivi, and there's all kinds of new adoption coming in, like Goldman Sachs being very bullish on crypto, and more congressmen actually getting in. So the fundamentals are pretty strong, but it is still stock market driven because Bitcoin is still seen as a risk asset. And tomorrow's labor market report may put a big damper on it, and it could actually continue to result in a sudden dip. It will probably bounce back pretty hard. It will probably bounce back pretty fast from the labor market news. But the thing is, I probably wouldn't buy now because I don't really know how that's going to come out. And you might want some extra money to buy that dip if that dip actually happens. So essentially, the commodity channel index is neutral now. Essentially, the oscillators for the daily are neutral. They're not buy or sell. They're pretty much all in the middle. In terms of the moving averages, we didn't move up enough today for the 10 EMA or the 10 SMA to move into positive territory. The EMA is slightly above the SMA, but that doesn't really mean all that much. And the rest of them are sell. So even though Amazon did have a bullish ending, it wasn't really bullish enough to make me say like, yeah, I'm definitely going to buy this, or yeah, I'm definitely going to sell this. I think it does depend a little bit on the jobs report tomorrow. And I think after the report, we are very much inclined to dip a bit, depending on how that report comes out. But I don't think that report's going to be pretty because they've been reported that Omicron and just the end of the holiday season means people are buying less stuff. So companies are slashing some jobs. I don't expect it to be too horrible, but I do expect the fact that like companies like Amazon not being able to actually hire warehouse workers because no one wants to work even at $18 an hour could actually be problematic. But the 50 EMA is still way below the 200 EMA, so we're still in bearish territory for the foreseeable future. On the 1 week, it's more of the same. We're still basically in bearish territory all the way down to the 50. The 50-week EMA, which is the first one I would be looking to flip, is still negative, and the 10 EMA is still negative as well. Oscillators are still pretty much neutral. The commodity channel index and the stochastic, they are trending towards buy right now because they are still very, very low and they're oversold. But outside of that, right now, like the moving averages are still very, very negative. We haven't gone anywhere near the price to actually start flipping the moving averages. But there could be a bit of a rally, a small rally at the beginning of tomorrow because of the Amazon earnings. But I would definitely wait for that jobs report to come out before doing much of anything. On the 1 month, everything is actually neutral. The EMA for the 10 and the 20 are actually sell. So short term, like probably for most of February into March, it's probably still a sell. Long-term wise, for buying for like 2-3 years, yeah, it's a buy. I do think we'll probably have a bounce back this summer. I do think we've pretty much reached the bottom at this point. Maybe we'll go to like 30,000 if the jobs report is really bad. But the thing is, like, I think that damage will be limited and it will be fairly fast. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button, and I will hope to see you tomorrow.